Perhaps we haven't met. I'm Discord.
Another chaotic battle!
Taste the scream of death.
Greetings, comrades. This is 88 Gelu, and we're back with some more chaotic. Here we are once again with my Warbeast, with my Korror Warbeast deck, except this time I've redesigned it, as I previously mentioned, to be a Bodal's Dagger deck. So, right off the bat, here I have some new better Ninrens, each of which have a Bodal's Dagger. This one has 75 energy, 155 speed, 95 courage, range, swift, and recklessness 25, and also air. I'm only mentioning the important stats. Speed and courage are still somewhat important because there is a Screech Scare, and I'm trying to remember what the other two attacks are. Let me give it a bit of a check. There's a Screech Scare and two Snare attacks, which both incorporate. One incorporates courage, the other one incorporates speed. There's also some speed-oriented locations, etc. Next, there is the other Ninren, 65 energy, 160 speed, 80 courage. The rest is all the same, or at least doesn't really matter. Then we have Korror here, still with the Revita Flower, giving him 5 energy, and I can sacrifice it to give one of my Conjurers 2 Mujiks, being this Apele right here, because he has the Weightless Energy Vessel, meaning that he cannot be targeted by Mujiks or abilities. And because of Apele's ability, he reduces recklessness by 10 for each Mujik counter. So you'll want to get Korror into the battle as quickly as possible, so you can give him up to 3 Mujik counters. Plus this other Apele makes it 4, meaning reduced recklessness 40, except there's also a Mepetian Balladier's Flute that I have right here, which you should sacrifice right off the bat to give to this Apele. So he has 4 Mujik counters, meaning that it'll be reduced recklessness 50, so Korror won't suffer from recklessness damage. That was a bit lengthy. So Korror has 135 energy, 100 courage, 105 speed, unique, loyal, recklessness 50. And for some reason, I only just noticed that Ninren is not loyal, which is really odd from Warbeast. But anyway, then we have Graftra. Defender, Conjurer, non-attack. His second ability doesn't matter because neither of the Conjurers are royals. He has 10 recklessness, air, 55 energy, 45 speed, 50 courage. If it wasn't for his Defender Conjurer, he wouldn't be in this deck. But I gave him a Gigantrooper to power him up, and since it only activates at the beginning of combat, he can still defend a Conjurer. At least I think I can, if I got this understanding of the rules correctly. So I think he can activate his Defender, and then once he's engaged with the opposing creature who tried to attack one of the Conjurers, the Gigantrooper's effect will activate, increasing his energy and all of his stats to 70, making him a tough fighter. Then I already went over the 2 Peles. Their stats don't really matter because if they get in battle, they are dead. So don't get them in combat. Oh, they also have the ability that when a Warbeast you control becomes a target of a Mujik or ability your opponent controls, a Pele gains a Mujik counter. So each time your opponent tries to use an ability or Mujik on one of your Mujik counters, both of them get a Mujik counter, which is really helpful for casting Mujiks and for reducing recklessness. So we have the exact same Mujiks as we did last time, which is an Armament of Alteration, destroy target battle gear equipped to engage creatures. Then if you only control Mepetians, return a battle gear from your discard pile to play equipped to your engaged creature. Good for bringing back the Revita Flower, Gigantrooper if it gets destroyed, or Bodal's Dagger. Song of Shelter, target creature you control may not be the target of musics or abilities. Bonding Battle Song, when target opposing creature heals or gains energy from a music or ability, the caster of this music also heals or gains that much energy, which is really useful. Tune of Zerum, sacrifice a battle gear. If you do, return another battle gear from your discard pile to play, equipped to an unequipped creature you control. Once again, also useful for Bodal's Dagger. However, there aren't really any battle gears here that you'd want to sacrifice. So it might be better to have a different music, maybe a second Song of Shelter, or probably a Cadence Clash would be better to stop someone from using an effect to destroy one of your battle gears. So yeah, when I put this deck on trading cards online, I'm probably gonna exchange that with a Cadence Clash or Armament. Then I have an Aegeus Aria. I would have a Melody of Mirage here instead, except I don't have it. Negate target attack. That the next attack played deals 0 damage. Melody of Malady just makes target attack deal 0 damage, so it's better because it won't backfire on you. And then Song of Recovery. Once again, heal 10 damage to target creature. That's really all you care about, because Air 5 doesn't matter in this deck because it's a Bodal's Dagger deck. Then we have locations. I intentionally have 7 locations here because there are 2 locations that are currently in other decks, so I didn't really have the time to transfer them. And the last one I had in Chaotic Online, so it's going to be in my Trading Cards Online deck, but not in my real life deck. So I have Gigantum Populus, Chamber of the Oriclon, because it gives Balgear untargetable, initiative Water. The Royal Mepetian Academy of Melee Arts. I also have a Crystal Cave that you might want to replace with a second one, except I don't have a second one, so bully for me. So this has initiative speed, reduce non-attack damage to 0, so, you know, your guys can't be affected by damaging musics. And it doesn't affect your Bodal's Dagger, because your Bodal's Dagger makes it do additional damage, I believe. If I'm wrong, so somebody please correct me, I'm going to change that when I make the actual deck. And Mirage, creatures cannot be target of music. And then Crystal Caves, which I said you should replace with a second Royal Mepetian Academy of Melee Arts if it won't negate Bodal's Dagger, which it shouldn't. Initiative speed, the engaged creature with the lowest speed deals 0 damage on its first attack. Now the reason that that's a problem is that even though you're most likely to win a speed challenge, unless your opponent is really unlucky and only has good attacks in their hand, it's not going to be that useful because they're just going to sacrifice their weakest attack. So that will give you like a 1-turn opening, but the other one is just better. Then 2 Vidov's Refectoriums, Initiative Wisdom. When this becomes active location, each player draws 2 attack cards and discards 2 attack cards. Then 2 Ropa Shack Chime Grids, Initiative Music Counters. When this becomes the active location, each player places a music counter on a creature they control. And the last 2 locations, which I do not currently have here, but I do have somewhere else and I just couldn't find them, is 2 Mepetian Oasis, so that the initiative, I think the initiative is Mepetian, but no, it's not Mepetian, but either way, it's there for its other effect, which is that Mepetians deal an additional 10 damage with their first attack, which is really helpful. Then for the attacks, I have a Primal Smash, essential for any Bodal's Dagger deck. 1 build cost, 20 damage, unique. Screech Scare, if your creature's courage is more than the opposing engaged creature's power, deal 5 damage. If it isn't, opposing engaged creature loses 10 courage. 2. Harnessed Rage, which deal 5 damage plus the damage of your creature's recklessness. Snare Attack, same thing except it's your speed against your opponent's courage, and they would lose 10 speed. 1. Xenocentric Wrath, 10 base damage, deal 10 damage if the opposing engaged creature does not share a tribe with the creature that plays this attack. A Retaliation Strike, 5 base damage. It deals additional damage equal to the damage dealt by the last attack. So generally you want to save this up when your opponent has a really big attack coming, and then you can just hit it back at them with an additional 15 if you're using a Bodal's Dagger. Tornado Tackle. If you have air, both players reshuffle their attack decks. 3 creatures in here have air, and because it doesn't actually have it as one of the element types, it doesn't count as an element attack. 2 Squeeze Plays, 5 base damage. Look at the top 2 cards of your attack deck. Put one of them on top of the deck and the other on the bottom. 2 Flash Kicks, same thing except location deck. 1 Wind Slash, target opponent turns all face-up battle gear cards they control face up. Both of these have a base damage of 5. 2 Time Slows, opposing engaged creature loses 20 speed. 2 Fear Projections, same thing except courage. 2 Reverberates. If an attack named Reverberate is in your attack discard pile, deal 10 damage. Give me a sec. I don't know, that just bothers me. And a Rot Cloud. 10 base damage if the opposing engaged creature has element type air, deal 5. If they have earth, deal 5. Now, what I would do, and I am going to be getting a Slash Claw soon, so hopefully I'll have it by the time I record it on Trading Cards Online. You would replace Rot Cloud, and also maybe, I don't know, maybe a Flash Kick. Yeah, probably a Flash Kick with Slash Claw and another Screech Scare, or if there's a 0 build cost card that's better than Screech Scare, because Slash Claw deals 5 base damage and double the damage of your recklessness value. So, Harnessed Rage for Ninren, generally it would do 30, but because of Bodal's Dagger, it would do 40. For Korror, it would do 55. For Grafta, it would do 15. Now, if they had Slash Claw, then for Ninren, it would do... Oh boy, my brain hurts. 65. For Korror, it would do... Wow, that's a lot. 105. And for Grafta, it would do 25. So, pretty good. So, yeah guys, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for what I could do to help fix this deck up a bit, I'd really appreciate it. And if you guys have any requests for chaotic decks, I'll do my best to try and create them. I'm getting new chaotic cards all the time because they're now so scarce and there's so many good cards that I still need to get that are no longer available. So yeah guys, thanks again for watching. Goodbye.